Once the imagery is downloaded and is brought into the system and you've approved it, what do the numbers mean that's in the classification at the bottom of the screen? I'm going to go to one of my field levels. I'm in the Activities view in the bottom right button, and then I click on the Imagery tab about midway down the page, and it shows me my imagery that I have downloaded up to the current point in time. I want to pick this 3/26 of 2020. That's completely white, meaning that there was complete cloud coverage that day, so we can't do anything with that, so I'll just reject that. I'll come down here to 3.8, and I'm looking for some imagery. Here's one. This is a Landsat, because remember, the bigger the cell, higher the resolution, meaning that you don't have that small intricate resolution, but I will approve that. And you'll notice that it runs from a 0.16 in the reds down at the bottom to 0.23. Typically speaking, whenever you start seeing those numbers go up towards 6 and 7 and 8, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, that means that you're getting into the growing stage and the maturity of the actual plant, whether it's corn or beans or whatever it might be. So this is in early stages. There may be something out there in this March time frame, but more than likely it's just very low numbers because of the timing of the season. So that's not utilizable. This is the reason why we give you the date range to prove this or not. As I move down here, and I'm going to come in here to the 2019 from last season, here's one on 4/16 of last year. Now this is running from a 0.13 up to a 0.53, 0.13 in the reds, up to a 0.53 is the highest in the greens, indicating that there's some emergence of the plant. There's beginning to be some coverage of the field. There's some light reflection from the sun, from the plant itself, bouncing back to the satellites, and that's indicating that there's some kind of growth structure going on with the plant. We would expect those numbers to go up the further you go into the season. So I'm going to go back in the top left with that arrow, and I'm going to come up here to 531, click on that image. I'll approve that because that's a good image. And now we're going from a 0.11 to a 0.4. Still not a lot of growth, but more than likely this is up in the area of south central Indiana. So in that April time frame, probably the crop maybe had been planted and is starting to emerge. But I'll go back here and I'm going to scroll up here and just get ahead of the game a little bit. And let's go to 7/3/19 on July 3rd, and notice now this is a Landsat because of those larger squares or pixels that you see, smaller resolution. Point is here that you're noticing on the red you're 0.26, up to the green you're 0.73, indicating that you're getting more coverage, more foliage, the leaves are starting to cover, there's beginning to be more reflectance, and you're really being able to identify, the crop is probably up around the 6 foot, 7 foot time frame as far as the growth and maturation of the crop. Let's go just a little bit later. I'm going to come up here to let's go to 7/28. Let's see what this image looks like. That's another Landsat, but we'll approve that. Now notice there that it's going from a 0.54 to a 0.79, indicating that you're in that timing of the season that the crop is really starting to take off. It's already taken off. It's really starting to mature now. So I'll go back one screen. And let's grab this one here back on 7/25, and on the 7/25 time frame there's a good image, and notice now that we're running from a 0.54 to a 0.78, indicating there again that you've got pretty good growth on the field. There's a lot of reflectance of the sun's light from the ground, from the leaf, from the growing plant back to the satellite, and that's the reason why the numbers are starting to grow. We'll do one more here. Let's come in here to 9/3. Well, there's cloud coverage on that particular day. But let's go to this, let me back up a little bit and go to 8/19. And I'll hit, there's a little bit of cloud coverage in that lower southwest corner, but not enough probably to influence this. And notice now that you're running from 0.14 up to 0.78. Not for sure why. Undoubtedly it's not harvested by yet, but it's certainly in the maturation stages. We'll do one more here because I want you to see this once this gets in the stage of when it's past maturity, because you're going to start seeing those numbers dropping down again, and you'll notice it's going from a 0.24 to a 0.68, and this is on October 7th of 2019. So it's past maturity at that point. Of course, you're not probably scouting it, and it's dropped off. But those numbers will range from a negative 0.1 to a positive 0.1. And we really pay attention to the positive side of this scale, because that means you get a lot, as you go into the season, the growing season, that means you get reflectance off the plant. And if it's a low number, it means you've got stress. If it's a high number, it means you've got good reflectance and good health of the actual plant itself. And the next set of videos will take you in and show you how to utilize the imagery now for doing the actual scouting.